5 mind-blowing placebo effect stories you won't believe. Imagine this, you swallow a sugar pill, and suddenly your pain vanishes. No active drug, no medical intervention, just the sheer power of belief. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that this mysterious force has helped people defy death, grow muscles without exercise, and even cure life-threatening diseases? We're talking real people, real cases, documented and studied. Welcome to Mysteries, where today, we're diving into 5 mind-blowing real-life cases of the placebo effect. Stories so astonishing that even scientists were left speechless. These aren't just your average medical mysteries. These are cases that redefine what we think we know about the human body and the power of the mind. And trust me, you don't want to miss the last one. It might just change the way you see medicine forever. So buckle up, hit that like button, and let's get into it. This first story is one of the most powerful examples of the placebo effect I've ever come across. Meet a young man named Alex. Now, Alex was suffering from severe depression. We're talking debilitating sadness, loss of hope, the kind of despair that makes you feel like there's no way out. And in a desperate moment, driven to the edge, he swallows an entire bottle of pills, convinced he's about to die. He's found gasping for breath, barely conscious, and rushed to the hospital. His blood pressure is plummeting, his heart is racing, and he's showing all the classic signs of a drug overdose. Doctors are working frantically, trying to pump his stomach, administer antidotes, anything to save his life. But here's the twist. The pills, they were fake. Alex was unknowingly part of a clinical trial for antidepressants, and he had overdosed on sugar pills, placebos, dummies, nothing but sugar and hope packed into capsules. Yet his body reacted as if he had taken a lethal drug. His symptoms were real. His body believed he was dying, and it was responding accordingly. It was only after the doctors revealed the truth, that those pills were nothing but sugar, that Alex's vital signs began to return to normal. The moment the belief of a lethal overdose was gone, his body stopped acting as if it was true. Let's move on to our next unbelievable story, one that takes us from a psychological crisis to the operating room, where the placebo effect takes on a whole new dimension. Alright, let me set the scene for you. You've got agonizing knee pain. Every step feels like torture. Your knee is stiff, swollen, and the pain just shoots through you with every movement. You've tried everything. Painkillers, physical therapy, even those copper bracelets your aunt swears by. Nothing seems to work. Your only hope? A complex, high-risk surgery. The kind that requires months of painful recovery. Now imagine going through with this surgery, enduring the pain and the weeks of rehab, only to find out that it was all a sham. Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what happened in a groundbreaking study that shook the world of orthopedics. Doctors recruited patients suffering from debilitating knee pain, patients who were desperate for relief. But here's the catch. Some of these patients underwent real knee surgery, while others received a fake surgery. They made an incision, pretended to operate, even splashed some saline solution around for good measure, and then stitched them back up, without actually repairing anything. Now you'd think the patients who got the fake surgery would be worse off, right? Maybe even angrier than a patient who found candy in their prescription bottle instead of actual medication. But here's the insane part. These patients recovered just as well as those who had real surgery. Some even felt completely cured. They were walking without pain, climbing stairs, even playing sports again. All because they believed they had received a real, life-changing surgery. This study blew the minds of doctors and scientists everywhere. Chapter 3. The Cancer Patient Who Cured Himself. This next story is one of the most powerful examples of the mind-body connection I've ever encountered. It's the story of a man named Mr. Wright. Now, Mr. Wright was battling advanced cancer. We're talking tumors the size of grapefruits, spreading like wildfire, his body ravaged by the disease. His doctors had exhausted all conventional treatments. Chemo, radiation, experimental therapies, nothing worked. They gave him weeks to live, told him to go home, make his peace, and prepare for the inevitable. But Mr. Wright was a fighter. He refused to give up. He'd heard whispers of a miracle drug, a groundbreaking new cancer treatment being developed in Europe. It was still in clinical trials, but the rumors were incredible. Tumors shrinking overnight, patients making miraculous recoveries. He begged his doctors to let him try it. He had nothing to lose, and so with a mix of skepticism and desperation they agreed to give him a dose. Within days, something incredible happened. Mr. Wright's tumors, those monstrous growths that had been choking the life out of him, began to shrink. Dramatically. It was like watching a time-lapse video in reverse. His energy returned, his appetite came back, and he even started taking walks in the park again. It was nothing short of a medical miracle. But here's the twist. The drug was later proven useless. It had zero effect on cancer cells. It was a dud. Mr. Wright's recovery? 100% placebo. His belief, his unwavering hope in that treatment, had somehow tricked his body into healing itself. He had willed himself back from the brink of death. This case sent shockwaves through the medical community because it challenged everything we thought we knew about cancer and the limits of human healing. It showed us that sometimes, belief itself can be the most powerful medicine of all. Chapter 4. The Man Who Grew Muscles by Thinking About It. Alright, this next story is for all the gym rats out there, the fitness junkies, the people who live for that post-workout pump. Imagine this, getting ripped without lifting a single weight. No grueling workouts, no protein shakes, no early morning gym sessions. Sounds like a late-night infomercial scam, right? Well, get this. Scientists decided to put this very idea to the test. They gathered a group of volunteers and divided them into two groups. Group A, your typical gym goers, hit the weights, doing bicep curls until their arms felt like jelly. Group B, they were instructed to just imagine themselves doing those same exercises. That's right, no actual exercise, just pure visualization. They were told to picture themselves curling those weights, feeling the burn in their muscles, pushing their limits, all in their minds. Now you'd expect Group A, the actual lifters, to see the most muscle growth, right? That's just basic exercise science. But here's the mind-blowing part. Both groups experienced significant muscle growth. Group B, the visualization group, saw almost as much growth as those who actually lifted weights. No workouts, no protein shakes, just the power of the mind. This study turned the fitness world upside down. It suggested that our brains don't always know the difference between a real workout and an imagined one. The neural pathways activated during visualization were so similar to those activated during actual exercise that the body responded by building muscle. It's like your brain said, hey, if you're going to spend all day thinking about lifting, I might as well get started on those gains. Chapter 5. The placebo that still worked, even when people knew. For years, the prevailing thought in medicine was that the placebo effect relied on deception. Patients had to believe they were getting a real treatment, a real drug for the placebo effect to kick in. But what if I told you that's not always true? That sometimes the placebo effect can work even when you know you're being tricked. In a groundbreaking study that turned the medical world on its head, researchers decided to test this very idea. They gathered a group of patients suffering from chronic pain. We're talking debilitating long-term pain that had been plaguing them for years. These patients were then given pills labeled placebo. No tricks, no deception, they were told exactly what they were taking, sugar pills with no active ingredients. Now you'd think that knowing they were taking a placebo would negate any potential benefits, right? That the power of suggestion would be lost. But here's the incredible part, their pain still went away. Not for everyone, of course, but for a significant number of patients, those placebo pills, clearly labeled as such, provided real, tangible relief. Their brains didn't care, they chose to heal anyway. This study sent shockwaves through the medical community because it challenged everything we thought we knew about the placebo effect. It showed us that the power of belief, the power of our minds to heal, can be so strong that it transcends even our conscious awareness. It suggested that our brains are hardwired for self-healing, and sometimes all it takes is a little nudge, a little reminder, even in the form of a sugar pill labeled placebo, to jumpstart that process. This study has profound implications for the future of medicine. It suggests that we may be underestimating the power of our own minds, the power of belief, ritual, and the patient-doctor relationship to influence healing. These 5 stories, these incredible cases of the placebo effect, are just a glimpse into the vast, untapped potential of the human mind. They remind us that we are not just passive recipients of medical treatment, but active participants in our own healing. These stories prove that belief alone can shape reality in ways we still don't fully understand. It's like our brains hold the blueprints to our own well-being, and sometimes, all it takes is a little nudge, a little spark of belief, to unlock that potential. But if you think this was bizarre, wait until you see what's next. Because some medical cases are so Unbelievable, so far outside the realm of conventional medicine that even the best doctors in the world couldn't explain them. Click here to watch the most bizarre medical anomalies, cases that defy science itself. We're talking about people who seem to defy the laws of nature, who possess abilities that seem ripped from the pages of a science fiction novel. See you there. And wait, if you love mind-blowing medical mysteries, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more. Also, drop a like and share this video with your friends. Let's surprise them too.